Alright, so today, pretty good day for movies. That is, not sure if you can see it. I got the Superman shirt on because today I saw The Collection and Man of Steel. Started off with The Collection, you know, me and mom scrolling through the movies, uh, saw The Collection. We had seen The Collector. The Collection is a sequel to the Collector. Um, and in The Collection, bad guy from The Collector, not going to give away the ending, but the bad guy still out, obviously. Hence the sequel. You get the grisly murders. You get, his whole thing is, trap you in a house or a building and have traps and, snares, snags, anything to hunt you down in the trap, so he doesn't have to do much. It's all grisly, it's all bloody, by the same guy that made Saw, so you get the gore that you would expect. Um, Now, during the movie, one of the scenes that part of the movie, not one of the scenes, just part of the movie that kind of disturbed me was they had the main character, a guy that had his arm is broken, he's all disoriented, and the SWAT team, I'll get to them later, the SWAT team or the special ops team, whatever they wanted to call themselves, they start shoving him to go head first into the lion's den, so to speak. Because they were going into the collector's home, his the place where he stored his human beings. Because he always kept one person after every crime scene, and he was starting a collection of them. So you know, it just kind of disturbed me that they're gonna send in the broken arm guy first, when they have fully capable people. Like they said, pick this lock. You don't have someone that can pick the lock in your elite squad of dudes. Nobody can pick a lock there. A little ridiculous to me. Um, you had in this squad team, um, not really much organization. You even had a dude, um, John or Bob, whatever his name was, in a plaid shirt, while everybody else was in the uh, in the bulletproof gear, with the machine guns. You had Bob just got off work at Home Depot or whatever, walking around with a handgun. That was a little ridiculous, but if you're into the gore, if you're into the bloody deaths, if you're into the torture scenes and all that, definitely the movie for you. I personally gave this 3 out of 5. Good sequel, worth watching the one time. Might hit it up again one day. Next, of course, The Man of Steel. Now, in The Man of Steel, I had some high expectations, and I was not disappointed. You know, the commercials, they set me up, to hop up some steps of ecstasy, movie-wise, and I climbed those steps. So it was a pretty great experience. You had Zod, and his squad. Uh, they were exiled, but they came back, and they fought Superman because they needed a key or this skull or whatever to repopulate or remake and repopulate Krypton, or not repopulate Krypton because Krypton is gone, but they needed to make more babies or whatever. So that was their whole deal, and Superman decided that he would rather protect the human race than help Zod help Zod out with his mission. And Zod, his whole thing was, do what I got to do at any cost. He didn't, he didn't, you know, dilly dally. That's the word I'm looking for. He wasn't a dilly dally kind of guy. He sent his squad in. They did what they had to do, and they did it quickly. He said this is going to happen, and right after he said it, boom, it was done. Okay, so in the movie, not too much backstory. They did, of course, give you the whole story of how how Superman got to Earth. They give you a couple clips from his childhood, but they didn't, shove it in your face. They didn't, be like, oh, here's the story. Just pow, plop it on your lap. Something you didn't want. It was perfect, and it was a perfect amount of backstory, in my opinion. Totally great. You had, is it near the ending, they had the kissing scene um, with Superman and Lois Lane, and then I I thought the movie was over. I was like, oh, okay, this is an alright movie. But then they bumped it up a couple of points by squeezing in that last fight with Zod. The moment where Zod, also a Kryptonian, just like Superman, he starts getting the same powers and starts realizing the full potential. And it's a crazy, wild fight. They tear apart Smallville. They tear apart Metropolis. The center of the world is all. I'm pretty sure it's turned to mush now. It's totally ridiculous. Um, in my thing, the thing I like about superheroes is the struggle they go through. And I wasn't initially a Superman fan because he never really, in my eyes, he never really struggled. You always knew, he was just gonna wipe away whatever competition he had. But here, he really had to push himself. He was really put to the limits in this one, and that's what I really liked about this. He could have died. Most of the times, Superman's not gonna die because nobody else can kill him. But here you have the same beings that are better trained than him. They just have a slight disadvantage not being on the planet as long. So, he could have died. That was the one thing that really stepped it up, in my opinion. Um, Learned something new about Superman. The S on his chest is not an S. Um, Turns out it means hope. Didn't mean that. I didn't know that initially because I didn't really read the comic, but not sure if they mentioned it in Smallville. It's been a long time since I've seen that, so learning that was totally great. He learned it from the father, and then he told Lois Lane. It was awesome. Um, Now it was the whole house symbol thing with him. His father was sending the baby off as last hope for Krypton, and turns out he was the last hope, or the hope for humankind. Um, Rating this movie out of 5, giving this a 5. Totally great movie, worth watching. Definitely gonna buy this on DVD. 5 out of 5. Thanks.